On January 13th, the Vermont Air National Guard of the U.S. Air Force deployed a squadron of F-35A fighter jets to Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan, positioning them in one of the most strategically sensitive locations for any Western fighter units globally. A press release issued by the U.S. Air Force's 18th Wing, which is the host aviation unit for Kadena Air Base, said that a number of F-35A arrived. While the exact numbers are not disclosed, some reports suggest that 10 fighters landed. They're assigned to the Vermont Air National Guard's 134th Expeditionary Fighter Squadron. The deployment will last several months and is scheduled to conduct exercises in Japan and other regional islands, including a multilateral joint war game codenamed COPE North. F-35s will also be vital to allowing the Air Force to phase out its obsolete F-15C and D fighters after over 4 decades of permanent presence at the facility. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why deployment of F-35As in Okinawa is a crucial move by the U.S. Air Force. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Kadena Air Base, located on Japan's Okinawa Island, is a U.S. military hub in the region. At a distance of 370 miles or 595 kilometers, it's the closest U.S. air base to Taiwan, a self-ruled island that China has claimed as its territory and has reserved the right to use force against. In addition to fighter aircraft, the U.S. Air Force routinely deployed spy planes from the U.S. mainland to Kadena, including the RC-135S reconnaissance aircraft, which is capable of collecting data on ballistic missiles fired by North Korea. Fighters in Okinawa are important in 2 aspects. 1, the animosity between Japan and China has increased, with China trying to wrest control of the Senkaku Islands. The U.S. is Japan's ally and is bound by the Treaty of Mutual Cooperation and Security to come to Japan's aid in case Japan faces aggression from an external party. U.S. fighters in Okinawa act as a deterrence. 2. There is growing apprehension that China may invade Taiwan. The relationship between Taiwan and the United States is unofficial and informal and is governed by the Taiwan Relations Act. The Taiwan Relations Act is designed to maintain ambiguity and does not state if the USA will or will not intervene militarily if Taiwan is attacked. In a scenario where the U.S. decides to help Taiwan militarily, the fighters in Okinawa are supposed to play a major role. In context, it should be noted that Japan's Deputy Prime Minister some time back said the country needed to defend Taiwan with the United States. Taro Aso, during a speech in Tokyo, said, "If a major incident happened in Taiwan, it would not be strange at all if it touches on a situation threatening survival. If that is the case, Japan and the U.S. must defend Taiwan together." The McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle is an American twin-engine, all-weather tactical fighter aircraft designed by McDonnell Douglas, now part of Boeing. Following reviews of proposals, the United States Air Force selected McDonnell Douglas's design in 1969 to meet the service's need for a dedicated air superiority fighter. The Eagle first flew in July 1972 and entered service in 1976. It is among the most successful modern fighters. The Eagle has been exported to Israel, Japan, and Saudi Arabia. Several variants like A, B, C, D, and E have been developed. When first deployed to Okinawa, the F-15 was considered the most capable fighter in the region and remained by far the best performing to serve in any Western Air Force until the 2000s. China's top fighters at the time were technologically several decades behind, and no match to the Eagle. While the Eagle is still a capable platform, China is deploying much newer and technologically more advanced fighters like the Chengdu J-20. Given the situation, a more potent fighter is required to deter China. The F-35 is a fifth-generation, single-engine, multi-role fighter that is now becoming the backbone of the U.S. Air Force. It has all-aspect stealth, sensor fusion, and beyond visual range combat capability. In 2017, during the model's first red flag exercise, the F-35 scored a 20-to-1 kill ratio, meaning that it won 20 engagements for each one that it lost. Such an advantage is mostly the result of the F-35's unprecedented situational awareness. The F-35A has been operational with the U.S. Air Force since 2016, and a wide range of weapons are now certified to be used with this jet, including JASSM and LRASM. The variant has a top speed of Mach 1.6 and has a combat radius of 680 miles, or 1,095 kilometers. U.S. military facilities across the southern Japanese prefecture of Okinawa are critical to Washington's security commitments in the Western Pacific, with the Kadena Air Base, in particular, considered the linchpin of U.S. air power in the region. The rotational deployments of F-35s and F-22s are being relied on to compensate for the departure of the F-15Cs and Ds, with the announcement made in July 2024 that these would eventually be augmented by a permanent forward deployment of 36 F-15EX fighters. U.S. Air Force Colonel Michael Blair, commander of the 158th Operations Group, said in a press release, "We are there to support operations and train in the Indo-Pacific region. Operating out of Kadena provides our airmen the opportunity to execute missions in a sustained, deployed environment, sharpening their skills and bolstering readiness." Given that there are lots of apprehensions about China's long-term ambitions, the U.S. Air Force is likely to continue to deploy fighter jets to Kadena Air Base on a rotational basis, as the U.S. military has long viewed the Indo-Pacific as its priority theater.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.